MJ BizCon 2019 with Ethan Zohn.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Ethan, we've known each other a long time. Well, we took a big gap off of knowing each other, but we knew each other playing soccer as teenagers.
Yes.
It seems like 35 years ago.
I think it was 35 years ago.
It's definitely 30 years ago.
Are you still playing?
Does it look like it?
Yeah, of course.
In fact, no. But in fact, you should know. I've actually been out of commission almost for 6 months. Not from playing soccer, but almost doing anything. I had a herniated disc.
Oh, man.
You ever have that?
I've never had
It's
a
not
herniated
great.
disc.
It's not great. Cannabis helps take the mind off it,
Yeah.
but not the pain out of it, actually. But we're going to talk about a couple things.
Yes.
One, we are in the United States now.
Mm-hmm.
You were the winner of Survivor.
Yes.
And that propelled you to worldwide fame, but also made you people love you.
I don't know.
That's true.
Whenever it
I think you're a
there.
dick, but no, I'm just kidding. But
It's
no,
all the editing.
But I say that only as context to what I'm about to say is that you've turned that into good. Right, you've been dedicated since then to really doing good work around the world. We'll talk about grassroots soccer. We'll talk about what you're doing now. But talk about that transition from Survivor winning to grassroots soccer.
Yeah,
And what it is.
Yeah, so prior to my time on Survivor, I was playing professional soccer in Zimbabwe. And while I was there, like I saw what was happening with HIV and AIDS, and it was just like destroying this community that I was a part of. So like, we wanted to do something about it. How can we use this sport that everyone loves to help, change the behaviors of young boys and girls? Then I went on Survivor. I did pretty well.
Yeah.
And there's actually a time on the show where I got to play soccer with all these little Kenyan children. And like, we couldn't speak the same language, but we were through the ball. So all right, this is something here. So after I got home from Survivor, met up with a bunch of my soccer buddies, and we created Grassroots Soccer. And Grassroots Soccer is an adolescent health organization that uses the sport of soccer to educate, inspire, and mobilize communities to make healthier choices. We're in 50 countries, graduated 2.3 million kids from the program so far. And you are a part of that.
Yeah.
This guy, if you can believe it, ran 26.2 miles in New York City to raise money and awareness for grassroots soccer, so I'm forever grateful for that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's really nice
impressive.
of you to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to fast forward to get your life story.
Okay.
Then you survived cancer.
Correct, twice.
Twice. And so you're a survivor and a survivor. That's just ironic.
I know. I always say, thank God I wasn't on that show, The Walking Dead, right? Because, that would be horrible.
Well played, well played. But I say that because it relates to what we're doing here.
Yes.
Right? I mean, so talk about that, how it relates to what we're doing here.
Sure. I mean, 2009, I was diagnosed with a rare form of blood cancer. And, did the whole thing, chemo, radiation. I had 2 stem cell transplants. And during that whole time, I was taking a lot of synthetic medicines, prescribed by the doctors, 5 to go at night, 3 to get up in the morning. Horrible. Yeah. But I knew that cannabis could potentially help. So I had really a tough time getting access to it. I was going to the streets in a mask and gloves, bald, talking to a drug dealer, give me some weed, dude. I don't know what's in it. Yeah. And so it was to layer that on top of what I was going through was pretty difficult. Yeah. So I became a firm believer in it, and especially now when I'm in remission, dealing with anxiety and fear of the cancer coming back, for me was debilitating. Mm-hmm. Cancer's easy. When a doctor tells you to do something, you die, you do it. It's it's not hard. Yeah. But after, when you got to get your life back together, that's when I was crumbling. Yeah. So CBD was a huge part of that. Mm-hmm. Cannabis was a huge part of that. So now, I'm doing everything in my power to help, share the details of my life, because maybe that will help someone else.
Yeah, and it's not just that, because like what you've done with grassroots soccer, you've taken this into doing good with it as well. Talk a bit about that.
So, we're here at MJ BizCon. Everyone here believes in cannabis and the benefits for public health. I firmly believe that if more kids start misusing cannabis and drugs, it's not really good for the kids, but it's not good for the industry. Yeah. So I feel there's a responsibility here amongst these companies to invest in making sure kids aren't misusing cannabis, right? So we started Safe Roots Foundation. We're a new wave in teenage drug prevention. So we raise money from the cannabis industry, and we help fund the best programs out there. And in addition to that, we developed a curriculum for after-school sports coaches to deliver interventions to kids to help them understand kind of the positive and negatives of drugs and misusing drugs in a way they understand, and that's fun. Exactly what we did with grassroots soccer, right?
Yeah.
Sports coaches are underutilized. They're sometimes these role models and mentors. They're not the parent, they're not a cop, they're not the teacher. They're a perfect person to be able to deliver some really important information and really protect the long-term sustainability of what we're all doing here.
It's super smart.
Yeah.
And really effective, I imagine.
Yeah, you know, we're just starting out. We got a couple small grants, but like, listen, it's tobacco, anti-smoking, Apple, anti-screen time, you know, it's the same thing. It's corporate social responsibility. There is a duty here to protect your industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
And kids. Let's talk about kids.
No, kids, of course. But I think that went without saying, of course. And so we're here. You've actually been to the show before.
Yep.
What have you seen? Because I think it was 2 years ago. You were saying.
Correct.
What have you seen that's different from your perspective from then to now?
1 year here, which has been the
true.
highlight of the show.
It's really,
right.
it's the highlight of my show too.
Second thing, you know, the innovation. You know, the top level like things back then are just not here anymore. I think that's really exciting. You know, the technology, the genetics, everything is just elevated. Yeah. And for me, I love that part of the business. You know, I love the branding, I love the technology behind it, the science behind it, and a lot more people here. And you know, that the reason, like all this stuff coming together is why I got involved with those guys you spoke to the other day. Yeah. Monkush, Anthony Sullivan, who you ran with, Dave Sullivan. I mean, Dave Christian, you ran with those guys too?
Turns out they ran faster than I did. So did everybody else. Everybody, most people in the marathon did. But I got to.
Did it.
I did do it.
Did it.
This is the last time I've run like that.
So here's my pitch to. I'll
pitch
tell
it.
you.
Go ahead.
I am looking for anyone who wants to help support me as I run the Boston Marathon, which is on April 20th, 2020, 420, when I finish the marathon in 4 hours and 20 minutes. No. Using whatever product, I'll rub it on my knees, I'll eat it at the 13-mile marker. Let's get a tribe of cannabis enthusiasts to run the Boston Marathon while using cannabis products on 420. You heard it here first.
That we could probably
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, we runs through Natick.
Yeah,
I'm from Natick.
Yes,
so
your mom can bring us bagels and lox. Totally. You know, I love that. It's great.
She could bring us the cannabis.
Yeah, she could.
It's not untrue. Well, Ethan, it's been great to connect with you, and I hope this isn't the first or last time we talk to each other in the next 30 years, but I love what you're doing. We look forward to helping you accomplish all those goals, and thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.